This morning we're fitting this quite large storage unit in a dining/living room. The final appearance will be something like that. So we've got some 1200mm wide drawer boxes. Well, it's a 1200mm unit, so the drawer boxes are a bit smaller. They're made by us from 50mm birch ply. They'll go in later. Going on to these Plum Movento runners. So these are pretty high quality. Soft close runners. The carcasses, as you can see, are birch ply, which have been varnished. We've got a radiata pine post there that helps to support the front of the shelves. The shelves are all fixed. It's all assembled with Conformat screws and some Craig screws, which go from the side panels into the back panels, which are 18mm. And I thought you might just be interested to see how we've packed it to the alcove. So looking at this side that Jonathan's working on, that's got an 18mm filler strip that's been glued with no nails and pins to the wall. And then when the unit's gone in, and the unit's been levelled to plumb, any little gap that's there, Jonathan's going through and filling with packers. And then we will screw from the inside of the unit through those packers to secure it. Then on the other side, similar method, there's a strip that's fixed to the wall, again glued and pinned because it's quicker than masonry fixings and it's strong enough. And then that means that all the space plugs, which help to lock in the space to the wall, can just be through screwed with, we've used about 60 or 70mm screws which have caught into that strip but don't have to then go into the wall. And we're hiding them where there's doors, we're hiding them under mounting plates, so there's a screw head underneath that goes into the space plug. And we've also pre-drilled the front of it because I'm now going to fit this little pine batten, which will fit flush and be held by those screws that I just showed you. So that gives me a good bearing surface for the scribe, because these are going to be overlay hinges, it's just straight arm hinges, which place the door overlapping the frame. So the scribe is going to sit just beyond the unit, just beyond the edge of the unit, so it needs those supporting surfaces to fix onto. It's a slightly laborious way of doing it, but we found that this way ensures that the unit is very securely fixed and there's no movement at any point. So then when the scribe goes on, which we'll just do with a good gap filling adhesive, it'll just sit there and there won't be any cracking issues with the cork line, which we've sometimes had before. What I'm doing now is laying out the handles for these drawer fronts, very wide drawer fronts to go on here. And the way that I'm doing it is I'm dividing the frontage length into 4. So if you imagine first I've divided it into 2, then that effectively is the width of the door that sits above it, something like that. And then so the quarter point is there, and I'm centering that on the quarter point, which means that then when they're fitted, these will be centered under there. The doors themselves are actually having knobs, but that to me is going to look like the most balanced way to fit them. Well, here it is all done, and I think it's a very handsome piece. We've got the classic door style, as we call it. Those are made from 22mm MDF, which we've had manufactured using CNC manufacture, and then manual assembly, gluing in the panel and mitering the OG moulding, gluing and mitering the moulding, and then that's all spray painted. Sprayed using the Movac Sayalac paint that we always use and we've talked a lot about on different videos. The colour is called Casual Elegance. It's a Johnston's colour, which we've matched to. The internals are birch plywood, and the drawer boxes are fitted on Blum Evento runners. Now we've taken to fitting the mechanism just behind the lip there, which has its pros and cons, but just saves notching. Saves notching that front there. You only notch the back then. We are now finishing the internals with birch ply. We're finishing it with a water-based lacquer. And I mentioned in the last video we've been using the lacquer by Mark Finney, finneyswoodfinishes.co.uk, and I was saying how we were phasing out our stock to move to Movac. However, we get such a good finish from it that we're thinking of maybe sticking with that, because although I always saw it as a hand-applied finish, it actually sprays and levels off beautifully, and Brady really likes spraying it, so I'm considering sticking with that as the finish that we use. Do look up Mark Finney, finneyswoodfinishes.co.uk, because he's a great source of advice on wood finishing. You come to him with any problem, a colour or a finish you're trying to achieve, he'll tell you how to do it, and he'll send you out the products to do it with. I've probably shown you this before, but not for a few videos, I don't think. The name Freebird, part of it is that you do get a free bird as a customer. So we hand make these from offcuts. Brady now does them. That was part of the making that I didn't let go of for a long time, but Brady's seen me do it, and he now knocks them out pretty nicely. So that's about it on this job, I think, really. Just to say, the handles were from eBay, solid brass, chosen by the customer, and very nice. So thank you for watching.